I was Die Antwoord's child slave. And so let's go into this. The adopted son of controversial rap rave group Die Antwoord has made sensational claims of child abuse against his foster parents, including the exposure to pornography, violence, and rituals. Just odd to me. Now 20 years old, destitute, and back in the poor Vredredorp neighborhood in Johannesburg, where Waddy Jones, Ninja, and Henri du Toit, Ilonda Visser, picked me up from school in 2010 at the age of 9. Gabriel Toki Du Perez has spilled the beans about their sordid childhood and with the international music stars. They made me feel like I was actually a slave. They adopted me to be a slave. They made me feel like I wasn't really being loved. Du Perez told News 24 this week after an explosive 44-minute with D. Antwoord's former filmmaker and secret artist Ben J. Crossman was released on YouTube. Jones and due to it took Du Perez and his minor sister to a private clinic to have their blood drawn, supposedly be used in rituals. Du Perez saw Jones carrying small bottles of blood. That's weird. That's weird. Jones showed Du Perez a pornographic video clip sent to him by a former girlfriend on his cell phone when Du Perez was 11 years old and in his custody. That's a little strange. Du Perez stabbed his older brother with a knife in D. Antwoord's Parkhurst, Johannesburg home. Jones and Du Toit congratulated him, and he emulated the scene using children in 2019 music video. That's fucked up. Jones encouraged Du Perez's minor sister, who until recently still visited them at their Cape Town mansion, to undress before them and join them naked in the sauna with other naked adults. The girl now refuses to see her foster parents. That's a little weird. In response to the detailed list of accusations against him, D. Antwoord's only response through their agent in Berlin, D. Antwoord don't agree with Toki's statements. That's the only thing that he has to say. Yeah, oh no, sucks to hear this. You'll get the next awesome job. The hood is pretty calm. Oh, that's nice. I was rooting for those guys in a long time ago. Yeah, back in like 2012. Yeah. Butterfly came out 2009. Dude, Reach Beach. I'm a Reach Beach. That shit's tight. Super dope. Ninja, the most corniest song ever, but it's still pretty good. But then again, there's pretty easy to hang a rap. Yeah. Oh. They adopted Du Perez and his minor sister, now 14, under foster parenting agreements and had used them as actors and props in a number of their successful shows, albums, videos like I Think You Freaky and Ugly Boy. They also paid another poor family in Johannesburg to use their 12-year-old son in their projects and had one biological daughter of their own. At various times over the past decades, all 4 children had shared homes with Jones and Du Toit in Cape Town and Johannesburg. Du Perez also lived with them in Los Angeles for a few months, but returned to South Africa as he was missing his biological family. Jones and Du Toit had previously been accused of appropriating different South African cultures for their success, but this was the first time a foster child had spoken out about their alleged exploitative and abusive behavior towards their adopted kids. They made me believe I was the devil, Du Perez, who suffered from a rare skin disease called hypohydrotic ectodermal dysplasia. I don't know how to say that shit. Sorry, guys. Told Crossman in the video interview. Included the video is a clip of Du Perez, then 9 and 10 years old, floating in a pool, lie low, telling the camera, "Come to Yolanda's house. I will fucking burn you in hell. I will burn your face on the stove." That's tight. You missed the messages above. What messages? I didn't get the dope. Oh no, Bon Bon, no! I'm so sorry. So sorry to hear that. That sucks, bro. I'm sorry. Seriously, I feel bad, but I still can't help listening to Rich Bitch. It's too good. Man, I love those songs. They still get me so hyped, but it also makes me sick. Why they gotta be such bad people? Yeah, I don't know. And again, these are all allegations. I mean, I know it's pretty common. You know, there's a lot of allegations, but I don't know. Let's jump into this video for a little bit and see what's going on here. And let's see.
Yes, that I've been groomed by Ninja and Yolandi. I wanted to come forward to let everyone know actually what happened to me and that everything that actually did happen in my life. I want to live my future like who I really am. So yeah, that's what.
So, tell me, sort of from the beginning, how you met Ninja Nilandi, how this all started, how you got adopted by them, how you ended up living with them, and what happened to you. So basically, I'm giving you the floor, and you can just tell everyone your story.
Good luck, my friend.
So you remember like the first time I ever done like any music videos or any videos and that? I met you before, like I met the Antwoord and that. We done some videos. I think the one video we did was called the Devil Boys. We did, and that was pretty epic video. And then from there, I was like, oh cool, like I can one day become an actor, you know, follow my dream. And then like through you, I met Ninja and Yolandi and them. And then I was on the way from school actually, and then like Ninja and Yolandi and them came with a black Subaru. Zan and them was also there. Like they pulled up. I was close to the police station by my house. Then they're like, hey man, Toki, don't you want to get into the car? Like your mother told us you can go. And then I was like, no, whoa, wait. Like my mother didn't say anything. Like my mother told me I'm not allowed to get in the car with a stranger or anything. So I want to go to my mother. And then from there, my mother can say I can go. And then from there, I walked to my house with my best friend who lives up the road. So I came home, and then my mother was like, oh, these people wants to adopt you and what, they want to go make videos and that. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll go, what. And then my mother said it was going to be a good experience for me. It's going to be better for me and what. So I went.
And what?
Then I also thought it was good, but then after a while I found out to say they were actually just grooming me. And then yeah, using me as a prop, as everything, like for the clothes, for the merch, for the music videos, and all that. Made me promises that I don't really keep. So yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of things actually going on.
Why do you think they wanted to adopt you and not your brother and not your sister at the time? Why was it you?
I don't know, to be honest. Like all I know is to say they wanted to adopt me to make them probably more famous. Or
Get that moisture going,
like,
girl.
Like, oh, check us, boy, he's probably from the hood. No one's like him, you know. I think you freaky video. Like that, like after I watched that video like a few times and I showed my mom before she passed away, my mother was like, hey, she's actually using you as like the freaky, like, you know. Like that's why they make the freaky videos because of you. And I was like, oh.
So he's just saying that they were using him as a prop. They were using him as someone because he looked strange. He looks a little odd. He looks a little different, which that has to suck. That has to suck as a young boy. Don't worry, something better's coming up. Yeah, for sure, Bon. You'll get something better. The travel agent thing. I mean, you just gotta bite the bullet for a couple more days or a couple more months or weeks. I don't know. You'll definitely find something better. I always thought that was a paid actor. How fucking sick. That is kind of sick. That they would get this little kid.
You can take things in your own hands.
Oh shit! They're spray painting a dog.
Because it
That's
made me
fucked
believe
up.
that I'm the devil. So I was like,
But I feel from sien jy my resort. Ek is op die beach as jy jealous as nee. Kom na landsy, ek wil so brand ek jou en ek moer jou op. Kom my mossie, want ek soek net my brandewyn en my val. Andri, so dat ek kan poes, nee. As ek my gun gaan kry, dan moet jy om speed.
When I get my gun, I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you.
I'm
going to call my friend for you.
AK-47, bitch.
AK-47.
Denier.
Fucking fucker. I'm
I'm
telling you, you can hear me.
fetus.
Even if you're in fetus, that shit. Shit, I can't read. Fucking, you are all so fucking poor. You must all shit money out of your asses. Jesus. You are ready for tick drugs.
That's the einde.
This is the end. Fuck you.
Kak. Poes.
Cunt. I hate you. Jesus.
Then the day I was actually sleeping, and then like.
So they're just having this kid just yelling some shit. It's funny because it has kind of German sound. It's based on Netherlandish too, I think. Yeah. Isn't Die Antwoord? Isn't that like a? Isn't that like Danish or something? Afrikaans. Yeah. Well, you know, in the South Africa, the whole apartheid shit, the whole, you know, imperial takeover. I mean, that shit's wild, man. That shit was really wild. So it's like all these white people live in South Africa, and it's like they sort of, all these cultures sort of kind of meshed. It's really wild.
Actually, over stupid things we also fought that night when I stabbed him. So like, yeah, so I was sleeping in their house in Parkhurst. So then my brother woke up. He wanted the speaker that I took, like in the earlier day, during the day, and then like he was looking for the speaker. So he came to me. He woke me up. He said like, yeah, he woke me up, and then I got up, and then we started fighting over a speaker and my phone. And then, like, when he punched me, I took out a knife from my pocket, and then I stabbed him like 3 times.
Jesus.
One in the neck, in the arm, I think in the ribs or something.
God
I'm not
damn.
sure exactly where. But yeah, and my sister was also there. She saw everything that happened. Like, she was there, and when I looked to the door to go out, I saw my sister and a friend that actually stays across the road from my house. So yeah, that kind of messed my whole mind up, man.
Holy shit. Could you imagine if you like fucking, you're just stabbing, you're just gonna stab somebody over a fucking speaker, like your own family? Well, quote unquote family. Wow, that's wild.
Did your brother go to hospital?
Yes, he actually, like, after I stabbed him, I actually pressed the alarm, the security alarm, like to let the paramedics come, the security and police, everything responds at once. So I pressed the response button, then I couldn't open the gate because as soon as the response button goes off and I opened the gate, my brother was going to be able to run faster out with me. So I closed the door behind me after pressing the alarm. Securities came, how the ambulance happened. Like for me, it's like I almost killed my own brother, but I also saved his life. But yeah, but he could have been dead.
You had to get electrocuted to jump over the fence to get away. But when you were after this whole situation, what did Ninja Nilandi say?
They congratulated me. They're like, hey, good job, man. I didn't actually know you were going to be a man, like, do this shit and all that. Like, I didn't actually expect you to stab your brother. Like, wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Good job, son. Way to stab your fucking brother. That's what they call a real savage. Yo. And then Ninja is like, yo, do this. Yeah, Papacito. Thank you so much for hanging out, my friend. And enjoy your lurk, my friend. We're just going to be going over these psychos, these fucking freaks. Jesus Christ.
shook my hand for it. Like, yeah, take your hand, man, or shake your hand for it. Yeah, they probably thought I was gonna feel good about it, like congratulating me. Like, I felt like, oh, so every
It's
time if I do
hardcore as
bad
fuck,
now,
Bon
is
Bon.
Ninja and him gonna congratulate me like, oh, he's being bad. Like, in my mom's eyes, like, taking out the internal bleeding, the blood from internal bleeding.
Jesus.
That like hurt me. I like started crying. I just left immediately. I didn't even say hi. I didn't even say anything. I just turned around and I left. I was like broken for days. Even here I am still sitting. I still dream about it. I still see it now and then. I can't get rid of it. Like it's haunting this car and whatever. Where I'm actually living in my own hometown in my house.
Dude, I saw in the DA family reunion video when Ninja Nilandi saw you last 2 years ago, they were giving you money and they were telling you that they're going to love you forever and no matter what happens, they'll be there for you. But you said you haven't seen them for 2 years. Tell me about that interview. What happened? What happened afterwards? What was happening the last time you saw them?
Okay, so I'm gonna start from the beginning before the interview. So I had a 3,000 rand on me. So I asked Ninja and Yolandi like, hey, can't you guys help me like with a 5,000 rand? I want to go do like a welding course. and all that.
$500.
And then like they're like, hey man, don't ask me for money and all that. And then like, you have to be there by Johan and Anna's house for on this day and that day. I can't remember exactly what date it was, but then I went there. I had a family reunion, and then Ninja's like, after like 3 months. So after 3 months, that 3 grand I had to use it for like food and everything, like to stay alive, you know. Because if I had a full 8,000 rand, I could have like paid already for my 4 months advanced. So advanced to be like welding for 4 months out ahead. So yeah, that happened. And then after that, to the interview, they're like, hey, I got you this 5,000 rand. And then they gave me the 5,000 rand. They told me, like, okay, you can take this 5,000 rand. Don't ever ask me again for money. I'm gonna give you the fishing rod. You know the fishing rod story that Ninja always says. So yeah, he gave me the whole fishing rod speech. Like, hey, yes.
I think the fishing rod thing is like, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish, he eats for the rest of his life. I think that's what they're trying to say. But I think it's really weird that they're going to fucking adopt this poor ass kid and then exploit him like that and, make millions off of merchandise and all the video views and help them propel them into international fame, and then just be like, look, you're on your own, bitch. Like, thanks, but go fuck yourself. It's not too far from the lifestyle that they presented from their own music videos. No, it doesn't. They're fucking weirdos. But that's what was so intriguing about them. And I don't know, there's just something so hot about Yolanda. Like, I don't know, like her fucking, she's just, there's something that was just like super sexy about her. But this is sick, man.
It's a fishing rod, you have to learn how to fish, whatever. And actually, I bet you if I have to give him a real fishing rod, he won't be able to go fish in a dam. So I'm not sure about that. But anyway, then after the interview, like he took me to the side. He was like, dude, if you ever threaten me or you fuck with my family or whatever, I'm gonna like fucking hurt you myself. I'll like get you killed or whatever. Like don't ever fuck with me or my family.
Ninja said that to you?
Yep. That's what he said to me, like off the scene, off the camera. So yeah.
I'm sorry to hear this, dude. I'm really sorry to hear this.
Yeah.
Before I speak about your sister and her situation and stuff, I want to know a little bit about any times you were in danger and...
So the ones I was in there, I was by Parkhurst, by the
giving him $500 in the end and feeling even better than that. Yeah, no, but I don't even understand. Like, it didn't seem like he was threatening anybody or asking for too much. The dude's just like, yo, I want to take a welding class, so I can better myself and get through life. They came in and just sort of plucked him out of his existence and then threw him in this crazy lifestyle. I mean, it seems like, he could come off a little more than $500, you know.
House there, my sister and everyone, but they all left. Like no one was there. I was basically like home alone. So I was like, oh, like, come on, go actually check what's happening. Like, because the maid was cleaning there, and then the maid came to me. She's like, hey man, do you know what's in this boxes in here? So Shulandi says we're not allowed to take out these boxes and whatever. And I told her to clean like the whole house. So then all of a sudden, like as soon as the maid went out, I took the boxes out. When I lifted up the one box, like the whole black magic voodoo shit came out. Like they felt like a rabbit's foot. I think it was a oak's foot or whatever. Fell out there. There was
Jesus.
like a voodoo doll. There was a small bottle of blood and all that in there.
I mean, they already says that they got blood, you know, they took his blood for rituals and shit, so they must be into some weird shit, man. They have to be into some weird shit. What else we got going on here? I mean, it just goes on, my God.
Story about me, that incident where Ninja and him said his 12-year-old or a 13-year-old son went into the restaurant with a paintball gun and robbed everyone inside the restaurant.
Yeah.
So actually I went there to the restaurant without the paintball gun. I went to the restaurant, I went to order pizza and that. I went home. I told Ninja to say it's gonna be like 20 minutes or so. Ninja's like, hey man, why don't you take off the gas, the pipe or the gas for the paintball gun, and then you take your gun to the shop, to the restaurant to go fetch your pizza, because since you already paid for it. So I was like, okay, cool man, I'll do that. And then I took my paintball gun. And then as soon as I walked into the restaurant, the people were like ducking and diving,
Oh my
jumping
God.
everywhere. So like I was actually gonna rob them, and then I was like, hey man, I'm actually just here to pick up the pizza.
Jesus.
And then when I went home, there was like 7 security cars outside my house looking for me and looking for the gun. Be like, hey man, this light here has a big rifle, like an assaulted rifle here. So yeah. And they actually laughed about it. They're like, hey, that's actually pretty funny. When I did all that, I feel much better. Like, I can even relax, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah. Nice one, bro.
The living shit out of me, to be honest. Like, I don't actually know what to do then, because I know I can't leave. Like, if I can leave properly, leave. I'm not sure what's their plans. Like, what do they have done? Like, if I had to leave at that age, like, I had to leave, you know. And then I told my mother that story. My mother's like, ah, that's messed up. But anyway, I bet you that won't happen again and whatever. Just go back, it will be better for you. So I listened to my mom. I went back. I told you I was going to be better. But then it actually got worse. Like every time when I got drunk, I saw you landing like 3-4 times naked the same way. So, yeah, it's quite hectic. When if we were in the house, I felt a little bit scared. I was like, hey, what is this people plan? Like, you know? Once they're like, yeah, I'm quickly gonna go in the room. Then they talk and then they call me into the room. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm probably in trouble or whatever. Then I'm not in trouble and they're just asking me for like random shit. Like roll me a train there or do this or do that. Like I knew how to roll a train that time.
Yeah. What did they ever give you drugs?
No, they never gave me drugs. They only gave me like, I don't count mushrooms as drugs. And weed.
What?
That's it. Like that.
You don't count mushrooms or weed as drugs. Those are fucking powerful drugs. They could be the R. Kelly of South Africa, right? Jesus. Asshats. How funny. Go little stupid boy and put yourself in serious danger. Yeah, for real. I wonder why they adopted him. Probably because he looked weird and they could use him to their advantage. If they just wanted to take advantage of him, they could have just let him hang out and not be a parental figure. I don't know. That is weird. Maybe they just thought they're... I don't know. If you have somebody and you have them under your... I mean, it seems like grooming is what it seems like. They were looking for someone to groom and to just, you know, have like a little pet to bring out. Yeah, power. They were playing Punks, the South African edition. Yeah, their version of Punks is a little bit more fucking savage than ours, man.
That's all they gave me, you know.
That's
There was actually there was a lot of people around me that was using drugs. Of one of like all the gangsters that were involved with, they all used drugs. Like next to me, around me. Some of them would go around the corner, would sit in the toilet and smoke. But some of them would like smoke right here by me, like right here, you know.
Yeah. And tell me about the movie and.
Also, before that movie, Ninja and them sent us onto like a boot camp, like a weapons training camp and all that.
What the
For like,
fuck?
I think it was a month or so, a month and a half. We shot all the types of guns, grenade launchers, MRGs, everything you can think of, all the guns you can get. We shot like every
Jesus.
one of them.
Damn.
Me, my brother, half of the gangsters that was there, that was in the movie, all of us, that was literally before the...
Name Anis, the weapons expert, no less.
To kill someone is like
become a gang member.
Unregistered firearms. There are 5 million such weapons throughout the whole.
And did you know Anis?
Yes, I knew Anis. Anis was like my friend, you know. He was like the only gangster there I could have trusted in my life. Like he even came to Fitas. Like he came to Fitas, we chilled in Fitas, chilled out in Fitas. I went to his neighborhood there by Mitchell's Plain. We chilled in Mitchell's Plain a lot of times. He even made me shoot a few times with his gun and that.
Unregistered firearms. There are 5 million such weapons throughout the whole of South Africa. On average, 10% of the population own one. This rises to almost 100% in the no-go zone.
No go.
But it was cool.
Never
gangster,
trust
like, but
the anus
also,
with my
like, I knew
life.
to say my life is in trouble. Like I'm putting myself at a big risk of becoming a gang member if I have to become a gang member or whatever.
We're out to kill him.
that's American ground. That's right.
Made me call a lot of people like from overseas and all that. Be like, hey man, just call this person and then just be like swearing at him, you know. Like be like, hey, I'm the devil, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna kill you, whatever, like shit like that. So I did shit like that all over, like with everyone. Even some Mugs. Mugs was also one of them that I actually prank called, you know.
Really? And so they knew the people you were prank calling and you were...
They knew every single person I was prank calling. They said, I know this person. They think
What
it's
the
cute.
fuck?
How did you know what
Oh,
to
Marilyn
say?
Manson.
They told me.
They told you what to say to the person?
Yeah, they like told me what to say. They're like, hey, you have to say to the person now, before you phone them, just say you're the devil, you're gonna kill them, you're gonna put them in a hole, you're gonna let the rats eat them and all that shit, you know.
Did you imagine having your fucking kid call this motherfucker and just start talking shit that you're gonna kill him and that you're the devil and you got rats, you're gonna feed them to your rats and shit. Like, I couldn't imagine telling my son, like, listen, son, you're gonna call this son of a bitch. They owe us money, okay? And I need you to fucking tell them you're the devil and you're gonna have your rats eat them and you know, tell them to fuck off. You're gonna kill them. You're gonna kill their family. You're gonna do the whole shabbat because yeah, that's just what you're doing, son. Go ahead, go on and do it now. Make your daddy proud.
And they also made me make a video like that for my brother before even the stabbing happened. Like, they made me do a video like that to my brother. So that I also found quite offensive. Like they knew it was gonna happen.
Morby.
Are you afraid right now?
Yeah, I'm quite scared because anything can happen.
All
They
right,
send,
Morby, we'll
someone,
do
a
that in a
hitman or
minute.
whatever to come here to my house, shoot me or shoot my brother or whatever. You know?
What kind of education did you get?
A kind of violent education, like being like, hey, violent is right and sleg is recht, you know? Like being slobby is right and all that shit. Like basically, sleg is recht.
Slag is rach means bad is right, right?
Yep.
What's your darkest moment of your childhood?
Darkest moments of my childhood is me seeing, like experiencing everything that I actually did experience. And the worst part that actually got me the most is like my own adopted parents could like, you know, they even could have like fucking killed me or something, like in that type of manner. Like I was scared for that. That ruined me. Like I was like, hey, am I actually living with like real people because they're not really there? They're like there for now 2 days, 3 days, and they disappear like for a month or so. So what's actually happening? You know?
Yeah.
And how long were you in America for with them and how did you like that?
I was touring with them all the shows. They made me like close all the shows and all that. Like all the tours, they like told me to like say maybe example, in Skadanks, they like, hey, told me like I had to tell the whole Skadanks to be like, hey, fuck Skadanks, you know, it's a fucked up place, whatever. I had to throw in a mic and be like that. But actually, I found the place is amazing, you know.
On drugs and fucking mental.
Bitch, we can all hear you and you suck! Jesus! Bitch!
And then one time I was living, they took me to move to LA, to Los Angeles. So I stayed there for like 3 months, and then I was like, no, I can't stay here, and I know my mother's like,
Talking to your sister's carers for a few weeks, and they were telling me a lot of information, and they recently told me that Macy, Ninja Nilandi's lawyer went to Macy's school. They didn't speak to the carers directly, but they want to open Macy a bank account, and they want to take care of Macy still. And then the carers, they cut me off. They don't want to speak to me anymore. How do you feel about that?
I feel really like messed up about that whole situation. Like, it was like the part where they sent the lawyer to my sister's school, like without letting no one know. Like just pop up there in school and my sister comes walking to a lawyer. Like be like, okay, tomorrow you have to meet up with me again in the office. Ninja Nilani is gonna phone you, you're gonna talk about it. And then Ninja and like, hey, I'm gonna open you a bank account, I'm gonna put like 5,000 rand every month into your bank account and that. So I don't know, I don't like the situation that they're actually doing. It's like they're trying to groom my sister the same way they groom me.
She's getting 5,000 a month.
Yeah, they say that they're gonna give her 5,000 rand a month.
Because she was getting 1,000 a month, and now she's getting 5.
I think also that like the first videos me and you did when we got into contact, like the one with the animals getting exposed and whatever, you know, by their own kids, the one with the 2 videos you put up, even on me and my sister, whatever. Like, I think actually like they saw the videos and they're like, oh shit, everything's coming out, like all our secrets are coming out, everything's coming out. We are actually, like we're actually failing now, we're losing everything. Everything is just disappearing. To Toki, so we have to get something to Toki and his sister. So let's give his sister 5 grand and we'll work on Toki's side. We'll work on doing whatever we can do with Toki, you know. But I don't want anything to do with that people. Since the last 2 years, they never wanted to do anything with me, so I don't want anything to do with them.
Jesus Christ, man, that is so weird, man. That is so weird that they're doing that. And now there's like trying to pretty much shut him the fuck up. So the filmmaker of this, I Drink the Kool-Aid, J. Crossman, the filmmaker, artist, photographer Ben J. Crossman admitted to introducing Antwoord to Toki in 2010 after documenting Vredrop. I don't know how to say that. Toki was playing in the streets with his brother and a few kids. I said hi to them, met Toki's mom, Josie, and took some photos of everyone. Later, I returned and took more pictures of the family and also made some videos. During this time, I was working with Antwoord and showed them the pictures. Later, I heard Ninja and Yolandis went to look for Toki and we're going to use him in the I Think You Freaky video with artist Roger Balin. Crossman organized a last interview with Duperez, reached out to him and in a bid to restart his career. In the video, Duperez tells Crossman his dreams is to become an actor or a model. Oof. Toki's bravery is contagious. When Toki reached out to me and told me his story, I believed him 100% based on what I had personally witnessed, Crossman said. Duperez said he wasn't allowed to stay with the other children in Higgoville, Cape Town mansion, and they rented a room for him in Hout Bay. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. or 0500 to make sure that I am out of the house by 6 o'clock a.m. To take the children to school. They had other drivers as well, but I did most of the driving and things for them. At the time, I was underage, and did not have a driver's license. Duperez said he regretted meeting Jones and Dutoit, and wondered what his life would have been without them. I could have spent so much time with my biological mother and not missing out on all those years, because now the only memories I have of my mom are the happier years from the age of 7 until she got sick of cancer and she died in 2015. So there you go. That is fucked up. So I pulled up a video here of sort of a timeline of their abuse. And here is sort of this. This was back in 2019, it looks like. this was some accusations brought up against Ninja, I guess, right? Against D. Antwoord's rapper Joaquin Tudor Jones, aka Ninja. So Ziani pressing sexual assault charges against D. Antwoord's Ninja. The question saw Ziani detail incident in which Ninja threatened her, trafficked her to South Africa, and with the intent of having sex, and shared unsolicited explicit images of her dating back to 2013. Now, Ziani Sparks is seeking legal action against Jones. As Sydney Morning Herald reports, the 26-year-old rapper has filed a police report in Queensland against Jones. The report alleges that Sparks is a victim of revenge porn and accuses Jones of sexually assaulting her in South Africa in 2013. Jeez Louise. The relationship between Sparks and D. Antwoord began in June 2013 after Jones' partner Yolandi Visser reached out to the 19-year-old Sparks on Instagram. I saw your Tumblr. Very cool. How can I get in touch with you? Visser wrote in a comment on Sparks' post. Ziani and Visser then connected through email, where Visser suggested that she and Ninja link up with Sparks next time they are on tour in Australia. Yo, 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 Skull of Foxes, what's pumping your style is on point. Ninja showed me your Tumblr blog. I like it, I like. He also gonna say hi to you. Will be cool to hang and get high as fuck when I come to Australia next time. Jesus, I'm trying to read these shorthands. Jones proceeded to send Sparks half a dozen messages within 24 hours, an interaction that left Sparks feeling absolutely overwhelmed. He referred to Yolandi as his little sister, basically disassociated their relationship, Sparks told SMH. Within the next couple of days, the correspondence became more intense. I was receiving up to 6 emails from him per day, and I replied twice. I was quite overwhelmed. Shortly after they connected, D. Antwoord flew Ziani to Australia, from Australia to Cape Town, a trip that allegedly resulted in Ziani being sexually assaulted by Jones after she was pressured to consume magic mushrooms in the wilderness with him. What the fuck? He's like, let's take some mushrooms and go into the woods. Which, I like doing that. I was just in shock. I wouldn't discuss it, she said. I might be young, naive, dumb, but I knew what had just happened, but I didn't know how to address it, and I didn't feel safe to address it. In the music video for The Question, Sparks shares receipts and screenshots of interactions she had with both Visser and Jones over the year alleging abuse. All I wanted was to move on with my life and leave their shit behind, she wrote in a video description. I wanted to draw the line and finally speak the truth and stand up for myself. I can see through you people and I'm no longer afraid of you. Jones has denied all allegations that has been made against him. And here's her video. D. Antwoord was recently removed from a series of festival lineups following allegations of hate crimes. The band were dropped from Louder Than Life and Life is Beautiful after footage emerged of them hurling homophobic abuse at Andy Butler of Hercules during their appearance at Future Music Festival in Adelaide. So there you go. They got all kinds of shit stacked up against them on this shit. Let's check out this video and let's see. We'll see what conclusions we can come to here.
Fact that the South African duet has become famous for their shocking and sometimes bizarre visuals and lyrics that feature Afrikaans and cursing, then you might have heard about them for another much more serious reason in recent days. In the past, the band was involved in several scandals, yet this one seems to have shocked fans of the duo the most, as their adopted son had accused the two of physical and intimate abuse, exploitation and slavery. As soon as the report by now 20-year-old Gabriel Toki du Preez had been released, it made headlines around the world. What exactly did he claim had happened to him while living with his adopted parents? Why did the two allegedly make him believe he was the devil? According to Toki, just how has the pair treated his minor sister? What were some of their past controversies? And has the duo responded to these claims? Stay with us until the very end to find out all about the scandal surrounding the
Stay with
controversial
us
duo.
to the very
But before we
end.
continue, don't forget to turn on the notifications and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with the hottest celebrity gossip.
Okay.
For those who might not be aware who exactly Antwoord is, let us give you a quick explanation. The act consists of the main duo Henri Dutoit, who is known as Yolandi Visser, and
Dutoit.
Watkin Tudor Jones, who goes by his stage name Ninja. The two were previously in a relationship and in 2005 welcomed a daughter, 16 Jones, as well as 3 adoptive children, the aforementioned Toki and his sister Maisie, and another adopted son, Jamail. Also part of the group is DJ Hightech. The group's name translates to The Answer in the Dutch-based South African language Afrikaans. As for their music, it has been described as being heavily opinionated, suggestive and highlighting the Zef culture, which is a term used to represent working-class white South Africans. Antwoord has also made their international debut in 2009 with the release of the album SOS, and the first music video for their album single Enter the Ninja became a viral success and gained them popularity and a decent amount of global recognition. As a result, not too long after their introduction into the world of music, they had signed a deal with an American label. Now, despite still being an up-and-coming group at the time whose fan base was still growing, they would soon find themselves under some heat when their 2012 video had sparked backlash and criticism for being racist. One of the first scandals that featured the music video for the song Fatty Bum Bum had shown Yolanda.
There you go. I remember this. And here's the thing. When I first saw this video a long time ago, it never occurred to me that this is, oh my God, this is horrible blackface. I mean, now that things are going on, it's just like, this is kind of fucked up, but I don't know, man. At the time, I don't remember this being so offensive that I was like, these guys need to never fucking work again. But, I mean, it's kind of fucked up. Taking a step back, you're just like, oh, shit.
And in blackface. According to a report by The Guardian at the time, the video was praised for effectively parodying Western culture. However, the use of blackface had turned the attention from the positive aspects of the video. Though it is worth noting that according to reports, this would not be the only criticism of racism the band received. In a 2014 video, the group had done blackface again, causing even more backlash. Yeah. In a video for the song Ugly Boy, a man is seen wearing not only makeup to darken his skin, but also an afro wig.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What the fuck? God damn it.
Also is wearing a hooded sweatshirt that reads, "Hello, my name is Bot." Despite the fact that the video had quite a few notable celebrities in it, such as Cara Delevingne, Marilyn Manson and Jack Black, the racial aspect of the clip was the thing that most people focused on. Now, speaking of Manson, if you want to know more about the allegations about the shock rocker, then be sure to check out our previous video by clicking on the link above. For now, make sure to stay with us until the end to find out about Antwoord's latest scandal. But the controversial musicians had found themselves under fire for other reasons as well. In 2019, Australian artist Ziani Sparks had come forward to talk about her relationship with group frontman Ninja after filing a police report against him. As per the Sydney Morning Herald, they initially made contact when Yolandi messaged her in 2013, the same year she and Ninja ended their romantic relationship. According to reports, it was also at the time that Ninja allegedly began aggressively pursuing Sparks, and when she flew to meet him in South Africa, Ziani claims that she had her drink spiked. She also alleged that the artist intimately and physically abused her to the point she lost consciousness. As of the time this video was made, it is not known whether any investigation is still pending. Though not long after Ziani told her story, another singer named Diona Del Monte came out and accused Ninja of also assaulting her in Italy. It seems that 2019 was not a good year for the band, as around the same time, a 2012 video of the duo involved in a physical spat with the music DJ Andy Butler appeared online. According to media reports at the time, Yolandi was hers using a homophobic slur and Ninja had assaulted him. As a result, the group was dropped from the lineup of several festivals they were set to appear at. However, it seems that the most recent accusations against the band have been the most shocking yet. As we previously mentioned, while still together, Jones and Dutoit had adopted a pair.
That's what I was saying. Like, she is pretty hot, though. All those ladies were hot, too. Those other singers were pretty hot. I mean, Yolandi, there's something so weird about it. Like, there's something super sexy about her weird fucking shit, but they're just sitting there like, if she's in there like fucking helping him sex traffic women down to South Africa so he can do weird shit to them, then what the fuck, and like abusing their children, and that's so ugly, man. So ugly.
Of siblings, Gabriel Toki Dupreez and his sister Maisie, and it is the now 20-year-old Toki that is speaking up about what he and his sister had endured while living with the artists. They had adopted Dupreez and his minor sister under foster parenting agreements and would use them as actors and props in a number of their very successful shows, albums and videos. While Toki is no longer living with the duo, his sister is still in their custody, though according to him, she lives full-time with another family in Johannesburg. When he was a child and living with his biological family, his living conditions were far from the glamorous mansion he would live with with the artists. Dupreez and his brother would often share a room in the house while they rented out the rest of the rooms. In an interview, he revealed that the duo made a foster care agreement with his mother after they saw him walking from school. News 24 obtained a copy from the foster care agreement signed in 2013 between Drew Preez's now deceased mother, Josephine, and the D. Antwoord, and they agreed to protect and nurture the boy, offer him a safe, healthy environment of positive support, provide him a safe and secure home, and educational improvement.
Moving Dutchman, welcome in, my friend. Yeah, we're gonna start it on your stream, buddy. We're gonna do a raid train for Amber Heard. Let's do a raid train for Amber Heard. We're raising money for Amber Heard now that she was found guilty of defamation and for defecation. She's found guilty of defamation and defecation. Yeah, we're doing it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Send her a $57 check. Yeah, she's gonna need more than that. She's gonna need more than that. What's going on, Moving Dutchman? Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. You missed the live verdict. You missed it. You missed it, bruh. It's okay. You're here now, and now we're going over Antwoord and all the shit that they've done over the years that's getting them canceled.
As per the publication, Toki's version of events, corroborated by other witnesses and evidence, called into question whether the duo complied with any of the legally required terms. Where his minor sister is concerned, the publication states that a similar agreement was made. In an interview with a South African news outlet, News 24, as well as a video interview he had made with the band's former filmmaker Ben J. Crossman, Toki had accused the duo of adopting him to be a slave. He revealed that they had made him feel like he really was one, and believed that he wasn't really being loved. While allegedly things started off fine at the beginning, it wouldn't be long until the atmosphere changed, and as the 20-year-old revealed, he was forced to record videos degrading and swearing at his biological family for being poor. Dupree's claimed that Jones and Dutoit promised to take good care of him, but they were never around and were always busy and on tours. Most of the time, he was...
Wait a second, that was what, because we watched that. He was in the pool and he was saying, fuck you. And so they made him direct that at his poor parents. That's fucked up. Tell your parents they're poor and fuck them and that you're the devil. Man. Yo, let's just see Yolandi in that hot jumper, though. Let's go.
Alone at home with an au pair. It was also reported that Dupreez received homeschooling up to grade 9 but dropped out after. Toki also revealed that he is a sufferer of a rare skin disease called hyperthyroidric ectodermal dysplasia, the common symptoms of which includes sparse scalp and body hair, reduced ability to sweat, and missing teeth. As a result, he claims the duo had made him believe he was the devil. Speaking of News 24, he said, "They made me swear more and made me believe that I could burn people in hell and that I am the king of hell. They told me that I could bring darkness upon the world." But the allegations only got more
and
serious
then stab
from
your
here on
brother,
then. People
yeah.
also alleged that the duo would in the past force him and his sister to undress in front of them anytime they purchased them new clothes, and if they refused to do so, they would be punished. While recalling the horrors that Dupreez claims he went through while under D. Antwoord's care, he talked about an incident where he was 13 years old. It was during a house party that Yolandi had asked him to spend some time with her in a room, but upon walking in, he saw her naked, laying with her legs open and vomiting all over. He stated that the worst part of all that was seeing his supposed-to-be mother being naked and intoxicated, and he found that, as well as the fact that she wanted to spend time with him while naked, to be very disturbing. So this would not be the only time that Toki would have been allegedly subjected to intimate material by the pair, as according to the interview, in the past, Jones had shown him an explicit video that was sent to him by a former girlfriend. At the time, the 20-year-old claims he was 11. In the interview with Crossman, Gabriel had also alleged that in the past he had hurt his older brother with a knife, leaving him needing hospital treatment. So instead of getting angry at their adopted son, Jones and Dutoit had allegedly congratulated him and later emulated a scene using children in a 2019.
You don't know who D. Antwoord? I'm on Reach Beach. Moving Dutchman, you gotta look up some D. Antwoord. Their music is pretty fucking awesome, though. Yeah, but they are aliens. Hey, Mr. Poopy Butthole. I get all the best screen names coming through this chat. Welcome in, Mr. Poopy Butthole. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, Moving Dutchman has quite a little mouth on him, doesn't he? You know, people make fun of the Brits for having bad teeth, but I don't think I've seen a nice set of teeth on any of these people. Bonnie, I think you're right. I think it's all the years of inbreeding. These Dutch imperialists and their inbreeding. Mr. Poopy Butthole, how you doing today? Welcome in. We're just going over some D. Antwoord. Apparently D. Antwoord is the worst people on earth. So much worse than Joseph Stalin, worse than Mussolini, worse than Genghis Khan. Let's go.
music video. But while Toki has now left the duo and is living on his own, as we mentioned before, his sister is still under their custody. But the 20-year-old claims that the 14-year-old no longer wants to visit her adoptive parents because, as he claims in an interview, each time she does, they ask her to get naked. Speaking in front of the camera, Toki had stated that last December, Ninja and others had allegedly taken Maisie to a sauna and everyone was naked, and that they wanted her nude as well. In the interview, he also claims that each time he calls the family, they ask if his sister is pregnant yet. But speaking of Crossman, who filmed Toki's story, he himself had talked about the...
Wait, this is like, is your sister pregnant yet? I'm hoping. This is weird. These fucking weirdos.
allegations against the duo. He claimed that he first met Ninja when he was 16 and the artist 21, when he would visit their school and smoked a green plant with the kids. Speaking with News 24, he said that he knew the Antwoord were not good people, but he was blinded by his ambition, and at the time, he too had his own problems. Speaking of how Ninja was with his adoptive children, he said that he would talk to them as if they were adults, showing them explicit content and talking to them about illegal substances and gangster life, thus manipulating their young minds. The man also added that he regrets not intervening earlier. According to a report from NME, who reached out to the duo's reps, D. Antwoord don't agree with Toki's statements, though they had also stated that the artist had always denied any allegations against them. So curious, what are your thoughts on these claims? Do you believe Toki? Have you heard of these or the past allegations against the...
Well, there it is, guys. There is a D. Antwoord just out there living their fucking gangster life. It's always weird how people still want to be around. Like once you reach this level of fame, they still want to just do all this debaucherous shit. I mean, I guess that's what money allows you, right? Money allows you to do all the debauchery you want with zero to no, consequence. So, yeah, there they go. There they go. Again, Yolandi is pretty hot. She's pretty hot for an abuser. So yeah, man, that's crazy. Let's get some of these. Let's get some of the. If all of this is true, how are they not in prison? I'm not saying he is lying. I'm unfamiliar with the laws in South Africa. That's true. That's a good point. D. Antwoord forever. Love these guys. Wish they were still pumping it out. Josh Hayes is not affected at all by any of that. This person says, ew. And then Josh Hayes says, your face. And then Hydro Hyperdive says, I honestly believe there's issues on both sides, and I don't see why people act as surprised. It's almost as if people forget that just because you're famous doesn't mean that you can't be bad. Either way, I still enjoy their music and don't really care about this BS. Oh, look at that. They get bored of living the normal life, I guess. But what part of jet setting around the world, performing to thousands of people at a time, making large sums of money is normal? How many people's life is that? You know, like that is not a normal thing. You'd think that would be enough, right? You'd think that they're just, I don't think they ever lived a normal life. No, probably not. I'm sure they came from some poor ass background and fucking had to come up scrapping, probably was involved with drugs and gangster shit before they got famous. So I can only imagine that they were, they probably fucking living through their own trauma and then just fucking, again, unlimited amounts of money, you know, compiled with all that past trauma and their association with fucking gangsters and the criminal element. You know, all that money, all that tension, drugs, alcohol, all of that shit compounds into fucked up behavior. I mean, look, we just saw how Amber Heard. We've spent the last 6 weeks going over Amber Heard and her bullshit and Johnny Depp. Those two unmitigated power and money and fucking and lust and drugs and alcohol. I mean, it just makes for toxic situations, man. And fame also fucks everything up too. It's wild. I like D. Antwoord's music, but I don't think they made any effort to parent Toki or his sisters. They seem like they believe their own propaganda, that they're evil, or maybe they're just evil people. In the U.S., they would have lost all their children for neglect. Maybe. I don't know about that Demanda Gallo. I don't know about that either. I'll wait until you hear about Ziani. Yeah, well, we did. We just heard about it, lady. Little Wolf Tama, whatever, Tama. I've never met someone who met someone who bought one of their albums. Johnny Cigar. Thank you for that input, Johnny Cigar. I was a fan, then I was 30 years old with a kid. There you go. You mean they weren't squatting in some abandoned factory somewhere? I mean, what did the kid's mother expect? Oh, these people look like they'll take good care of my kid. What the fuck? Not saying that any of that is the boy / now man's fault. Just what are people thinking? Money. Did his biological mother get charged for selling her child? I mean, she got paid. That's actually a good observation there. How do we know that? Do you have any sources, or are you just making shit up? Enigma. Thank you, Enigma. Mostly just kidding. That's Evan's response. Susanna Mind Your Own says his mother passed away the day Antwoord filmed the clip for Banana Brains was the day of Gabriel's bio mom's funeral. They come from poverty. If I thought my child would have a better opportunities with another family with money, I would make the agonizing decision to allow them to adopt said child. We cannot judge her in that instance. That's kind of a good point too, because for a lot of us, especially a lot of us with the luxury and the entitlement of having, not entitlement, that's wrong, with the, what do you call it? Let's just stick with the luxury of being on this platform. I mean, obviously I have a pretty nice computer. I have a pretty nice setup here. You guys, wherever you guys are at, you have a phone or a laptop or in a house. We don't know where these people came from. These people could have came from, shanty houses, just in the slums of South Africa. And life is regarded in different ways when it's extreme poverty, right? Like there is a different take on life. It's more survival. It's more primal. And if you're looking at it in a sense if you're looking at it from that perspective, you gotta probably look at it from the perspective is like, well, my son is starving with me, with my 3 other children. And these people they have money and they want to help my family. What do we do? I think that, life is probably just regarded differently in those extreme impoverished situations. I guess it's like the feeling of beating a GTA game, so you have nothing else to do, so you just go around causing trouble. But but in IRL, yeah, you might be right. Poopy butthole. It's just fun to say. Poopy butthole. You make a good point. That what else are they gonna do, right? Like if you're in God mode on GTA, what do you end up doing? You just end up murdering and stealing and killing cops and shit. And like when you're famous and rich, you're kind of living your life in God mode, right? Like you're just running around doing almost anything you want and getting away with it. There's always handlers, someone to clean up your messes. So yeah, I could see that. I could see it's kind of like GTA. They're just going around fucking shit up. Yeah. So that's wild. These guys are crazy AF. So that is our coverage on Antwoord and where we're at there. I would like to